Miku, great to see you. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to chat with you. I remember when this show was announced, and now it's coming out on Netflix worldwide. It's been probably a crazy couple of weeks for you.
It's been absolutely wild, and I'm just so excited for everybody to see the manga energy come to life and to introduce them to this whole new world of Bet.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a good, perfect segue. So, we've seen these characters before in another way, right? With the, original source material of the manga. What is your kind of relationship with the manga, given that, we have seen these characters before, but this is the live action adaptation on Netflix? Like, do you kind of throw it away a little bit? Do you read the mangas? Like, what's your relationship with the original source material?
I mean, Yumeko is absolutely iconic, and I obviously wanted to do her justice when bringing her to real life. And yeah, I absolutely read the manga, and I studied her, and there was no way I was going to play Yumeko without that manga side to her. I mean, that's our entire show. We're bringing this whole new style to life and also humanizing it. So every scene was about balancing, little physicalities that she would do that are so manga and in the book, while also making her a human that's relatable to other people.
Absolutely. When you start getting scripts for Bet, there's, I feel like, two kind of ways an actor kind of thinks about certain things. You're going to obviously focus on your character, but you're also going to focus on the overall kind of, story of Bet and what happens episode after episode. How do you balance the two of those things? Because those are two different things, I feel like.
Right. I mean, yeah, completely. There's a whole, plot arc, and then there's your character arc. And it was really fun to discover that. We did table reads where we would all read the entire script before we filmed it, and just the energy of the entire cast. They're so talented, and the writers are so talented. It would just absolutely come to life. And Simon Barry, the showrunner, is so collaborative. And if we had, any input or thought, he would be totally open ears and hear us out on that.
When you have a show like this that has a lot of elements at play in terms of the themes, in terms of it being kind of a school and the betting component of it, what's that script to screen life, that script to screen journey like for you in regards to kind of reading all these elements in the scripts and then seeing it come to life on screen while you go into production? What's that like for you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just so much fun. Yeah, our show is so eccentric and creative in that sense. So all of that energy is really brought to life on the day of filming. And shooting the gambling scenes were so intense, and they had so many layers and beats to them. And for Yumeko's character, it really builds up because she's living in the moment and leaving into chance, and she gets so much joy off of living in the pure moment.
Absolutely.
And, it's just Go ahead. You talk. We're just so excited to talk.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, it's just so interesting as an actor to have such a challenging scene in a sense where there's so many beats. I mean, usually a scene, it's just, you memorize your lines and you go through the emotional beats. But this was also a component of we're playing a game. We need to understand how this is working and on what line we draw a card, or we, give in all our chips and things as such. So it was so interesting. And I think it has made me a better actor, practicing all those beats in one scene. And I really love how they turned out. The intensity and the stakes of the gambling scenes are really captivating.
I'm so happy that you continue that answer, because what you just said now is a perfect segue to my next question.
Okay, amazing.
It's almost like you knew what I was going to ask. Well, I
exactly.
Find it interesting because you're counting cards. No, I'm kidding. I find it interesting because my filmmaker hat kind of thinks about these things because, we see kind of a scene with you and Ayo on screen, for example, and that's like a 2-minute runtime scene, right? But there's a good chance that, that scene might have taken, and other scenes might have taken a day or 2 or 3 days to film, and then we just see 5 minutes. When that happens, do those scenes feel like their own mini movie, or do they feel like an overall part of the project?
You know what? I think the same way because I love film production. I love what goes on behind the scenes and not exactly just on camera. I'm a very technical actor in that sense, working with the camera guy to make sure, everything is running smoothly, whether that means, there's just certain technicalities when you get to acting on film and TV that you learn, which is so awesome. And, TV shows are pretty fast paced. So we were shooting multiple scenes a day. So, movie style is more long and you maybe shoot like 2 scenes a day. But it was awesome. We just all clicked and we were all on the same page of the scenes. And it's been really fun to watch them back and remember little bits and moments from, that day.
Absolutely. I know you try not to do this as an actor. And I know, an actor is present, kind of doing the scenes, then, rapping, and then it's out of your hands. But given that this show, kind of like you said, the game, and like you're dialed in from a viewer perspective, seeing kind of like what's going to happen with the characters, but like we're really focused on like the game component of the show, right? So we're really dialed in, we're active. Are you ever conscious of the audience member watching Bet while you're making it, while you're in production? Or does that happen a little bit after you wrap, so to speak?
I think that happens after I wrap, because when I'm on set and they call action, I am just completely locked into this world that we've created. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting because we had a lot of students who were background actors who were seeing the scene be played out for the first time too. So we got their real reactions, and the stakes are really high, and we push what is expected, and we can see how shocked they are and how perhaps terrified they are of what's going on. So I just really love living in that moment of the present. Yeah.
When you work in this coming of age kind of, field of work with Bet, where you see a lot of these, characters and they're going through their ups and downs, and some characters are closer than other characters, and there's a lot of like soul searching and self-reflection with a lot of characters, some more than others, right? But I'm just wondering, from your from an acting storyteller perspective, you can answer this with Bet or other projects you've done in the past, is like, what's it like for you playing these characters that are lost, that are doing self-reflection, that are figuring things out? Is it more fun? Is it more challenging? Do you find it interesting? Because from the viewer perspective, they don't know they're lost. So I find that interesting. Like, what do you think about playing those characters?
Gosh, it's so much fun because it is challenging. It is like an onion. There's so many layers to it. Mm-hmm. And, you kind of also discover your character more and more and what they're going through and the emotional depth, as filming goes along. And it's really beautiful. St. Dominic's is filled with such hardcore students. They're from the global elite. So they come from a lot of traumatizing pasts. And though our show is quite funny in moments, we do discuss a lot of topics of like power dynamics and status and wealth and, family kind of politics and how that kind of affects you and shapes you into the person that you are and the relationships that you have. And that's why, when Yumeko steps in, things get really shaken up because she really sees them for who they are and not the front that they put on. And they're not used to that. And they start seeing the real version of themselves too. And then there's this whole question of morality. Everyone at St. Dominic's has a different, level of what's okay and what's not okay, which is also what makes the show so thrilling to watch.
Bet is going to be streaming worldwide on Netflix May 15th. Can you believe that I just said that? Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
May 15th, they can check out the show. Miku, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.